and do shit now. I don't know. Mmm, that's a pretty damn good sandwich. Corned beef and rye with Russian dressing. Fuck yeah. Shit tastes like rations. Um. So, anyways, so I'm just kind of go back to what I was doing before. Is that we have quite a few issues in America that have been long overlooked, under-addressed, or otherwise kind of forgotten for one reason or another. Because they've all been deliberately forgotten. You know, all's fair in love and war, and like, look at how far we've come in such a short time. You know, we carved up the African and the Indian. I mean, we carved up all those continents, and that was once upon a time. 47 came around, and I guess that shit changed. Because what it kind of looks like is that sometime around the research of, you know, the atomic era, the nuclear bomb, this is just kind of like my theory of thinking here, because, you know, decline noticeable. Sometime around the early 20th century and leading up to the creation of the first couple computers and the atomic bomb, I think leadership got kind of tossed around somewhere, because it's very clear that our country just kind of seemed to start going a little more evil around then for some reason. I don't really know why. Like, I don't know the exact root cause, but people, please research this on your own. Around 1947, a lot of shit happened, and, you know, here we are nowadays, post-Cold War. NATO said, sorry, Russia, you can't join us, so we can't have proper world peace, and fuck, look at what we're doing now, man. We're not a very good society. We are a society of idiots, America. I love this country, beautiful country. It's arguably the best country at that in the world, and kind of like an analog for the Roman Empire, really. And I do mean that, like, exactly kind of an analog for the Roman Empire. But we can do better than this. Surely we can do better than this. So what's something better to talk about? Let's not just fucking bullshit theory pointing. What the fuck is the Cybertruck? It's a very neat idea, and honestly, I like it for the idea of, okay, we can actually make something that's different from the car market and people will buy it. But at the same time, it's like, what the fuck, Elon? That was probably one of the worst ideas you could come up with, you fucking jackass. Goddamn. Believe me, I don't hate Elon for the reasons everybody else hates him. I hate him because he's a fucking, like, to use the term lightly, cyber-fago. And I don't know, like, he's got, like, one of the stupidest looking aesthetics possible. Like, okay, you know, cyber future. You made a truck that looks like a literal fucking PS1 rendering in. And on top of that, it's not built well at all. It's an electric. Which, okay, electrics do have their place, but we don't have the technology made yet, or I guess publicly available, if you ask the military-industrial complex, for the free energy shit to properly, like, you know, we're mining batteries over in Chile for energy still. Or, you know, we're mining lithium over there. It's not good. So I'm just gonna mine a lot of shit. But no, we don't really seem to innovate anymore. Haven't for decades. I mean, we were pretty American until Kennedy happened. And Kennedy said, hey, I'm going to just go ahead and try to make peace with the world and try to solve some of the issues that are actually happening. You know, recognize Algeria as its own country, which is a first. And I'm also going to probe Israel for their nuclear weapons. Oh, wait, now I'm dead. Yeah, you see, that's the JFK story, folks. He discovered that Israel had, like, the Demonda nuclear reactor or something. They weren't supposed to have a nuclear reactor. Had a nuclear reactor anyway. Were asked why they had a nuclear reactor. Didn't want to answer. Didn't want anybody to inspect it. Didn't want anybody to see it. Pretty much tried playing it off as, and it's just a small one. Come on, don't look at it. And, like, Jesus Christ. We just kind of let him get away with it. And that was in 63, 62, 63 when we discovered it. And they fucking just constantly postpone and refuse inspections of their nuclear power plant. Okay, well, I understand it. Okay, you don't want people to see your fucking scary nuclear shit, but just, like, do you really have to try to get a leg up on the world that way? Like, wouldn't it be a better idea to try to cooperate if everybody is like the hidden entity who does shit behind everybody's back, but like not in the stupid, weird, kind of gay, obvious way they're doing? Because I get it, they're proud of the fucking work they've accomplished, in that they've impressively fucked over the world, and they're very proud of that fact. They really want to be proud of that fact that they've fucked over the world, impressively so, but yet, my God, don't fucking do that. If your intent is to take over the world, motherfucker, do it silently. Don't make it obvious. Because all you've done is ensure that you'll get caught later. But why am I complaining? I complain that they did such a shit job. That they did such a shit job that the goy don't even notice. The goy just stare at him and wonder and go, "Oh, it seems fine to me." Motherfuckers, are you people that fucking stupid, blind to the reality around you of which you are faced? Wake up. America is not a fucking clean country anymore. We're not doing good. All of our citizens are either retarded or criminals, or like old as hell and frail. All of our young fucking generation of men and women have been mind raped by the internet. And a lot of men have gone down the fatherless route of becoming transgender and basically destroying themselves to try and appease their mental issues, which, it's a really sad tale, but it's very annoying as well. Because look at how these groups and stuff are structured. Let's take furries as an example, okay? Back, 90s, 2000s, even going into the 80s, furries existed, but were a very small niche community, and they're weird, but they at least had realistic costumes. They at least had they were more normal about it, more casual. Fast forward to 2007, fast forward to fucking the 2010s. It's like you see these exponential curves on a fucking line graph. It just goes retardation, just slowly going up, oh, it's going up faster. Oh shit, there it went. And it's really so sad to see, because it's like, furries are annoying and weird and smelly and gross, but they do provide some pretty neat, art, culture, and entertainment from time to time. Do I say they produced any works in the last 10, 15, 20 years that are worth a damn? No, not really. I can't name any. But surely they can do better than just making pornography all day and just, becoming a weird fetishistic subculture of America that's going to be written down in the history books as a large part of this generation. Mind you, a very large part of this generation in the last ones, and they're entirely a fetishist people that are just fucking obsessed with the ideal of spiritual or animal spirituality. It's just such a weird natural phenomenon to pop up. I mean, yeah, we're all animals. We're going to relate to each other on some effect, but it's gone too far. It's gone way too far. I mean, fucking people should have had a wake-up call at Kenneth Pinion and said, hey, bestiality is still legal in 2 U.S. states because of a legal loophole? What the fuck? That shit should have been shut down decades ago. They should be fucking fixing laws for this shit and trying to actually, properly handle the legal and criminal code for shit, but they're just they're misusing it completely. I know I'm just kind of oh, that's just one example. It's I know there's more examples. I just can't name too many other than the fucking... What's a better example? Fucking all the tax loopholes. Here's a good one. All the tax loopholes out of Delaware. And this is a fucking... what is it? Like Wilmington or something? Looks like a Need for Speed City after 5 o'clock where there's just nobody around because it's all businesses and offices. Holy shit. It's a financial district that operates solely to kind of give tax breaks to the fucking ultra wealthy, because it's hey, this is now your business address out of this place. That way you don't have to use, your actual address, and people can't show up to your headquarters and demand change. Fucking... See, what's another culture that I can kind of pick fun at? What's another one? Oh, yeah. If you kind of look at what has happened with the LGBT community, the transgenders, the everything. I mean, there's this guy on Twitter, his name is Flesh Simulator. Go check him out. He's got better insights and better wording for it than I ever will. But fucking... what he has kind of said the other day was that the trans community... Okay, let me just kind of start over, just say my statement. It's a community of people who are vulnerable and have been misled by a system designed to destroy them. What it does is it feeds into their mental ailments, in this case gender dysphoria or perceived gender dysphoria, which often is associated with childhood traumas and, uncontrollable emotions, I would say. Emotions that are so strong they take precedence over the body, and that's why these people are seemingly unable to rationally think, because they are so emotionally distraught and caught up in their own trauma. And it's a lot of arrested development. A lot of people who didn't develop right, who never really developed a good self, who never had a good parental figure, a large nation of fatherless people. And I say this literally, primarily white. Most of the transgenders that I've seen online are white, and I'm not saying this is a racial thing. I'm saying this seems kind of targeted. Because, logically speaking, if, this was just RNG based, wouldn't that be like every single other race on the planet as well? Like, also doing this in such a fast, exponential growing rate and, like, fucking spiking up? And it's like, okay, yeah, there is. There's a bunch of Hispanic kids, there's a bunch of black kids. It's like, okay, yeah. But disproportionately so, less. But what it is, though, is that the problem with it is the ways in which they try to explain/heal the trauma. What these men have done is they have become so sickened and disgusted with the idea of their masculinity because of what they've been told on the internet, that all these cues of maybe problems they had for their childhood, or just stuff they did, like, for example, just being feminine men in general, like wearing slippers or fucking, well, what's a better example? Fucking kids who just seem to kind of like pink a little bit more, or a little bit more that direction. It's like there's nothing wrong with that, but they've been misled. They have been deliberately misled by this large system to kind of like to feed into their mental issues. And especially in the age of computers and mobile devices being so prevalent, that process is automated. You can leave your home without ever leaving your home. So let's kind of like say a couple things here in order. If you create a bunch of broken homes that create broken people, those parents have kids, which those parents are already broken, so they're just going to raise kids who are already going to be broken. Let's say they're just throwing a couple devices at them or whatever. They're not getting nearly as much time and experience outside. They're not gaining an actual social life or friends. They're not doing anything particularly useful. They're just entertaining themselves as they grow up and kind of like socially learning. Not learning anything useful, but learning how to communicate in general. Sorry, I was burping and about ran off the road, tire in the road. Anyways, so the problem that I see is that kids are very stupid. Very, very stupid. They need to learn constantly. They don't need to be babied until they're 10 years old. At about 5 years old, your kid should start stepping into the real world. He's had half a decade to kind of like get used to it and have fun as a little kid. And no, after that, then you start throwing the chapter books at him. You start teaching him how to cook. You start teaching them how to, do all the shit properly. Try to have them potty trained as soon as you possibly can. You don't want to change diapers. They're expensive as fucking nasty. But logically speaking, you should be able to train your kids really fast if you try. But also, there's a big kind of like, I guess, piece to this argument, is that people aren't intelligent anymore. Kids are very stupid. Adults are very stupid. Intelligence is the largest factor in all of this. All of it. Everybody is so unintelligent nowadays. It is genuinely sickening to see how many people drive on the road and just the car they drive, the way they drive, the way they look, what they're doing, oftentimes on their phone. And everybody is so stupid now. How do you expect to raise a generation of kids from this generation? From a couple of the previous generations, the last of Gen X and millennials, and how do you expect a generation of Americans to be raised out of a generation of idiots? A generation of people that do not have any skills, anything. All they are good at is looking at buttons on a screen and pressing them. They are good at recognizing when they need to do something and that they need to do it, as they would in a job. They've had no social skills, they have social skills, but not like critically social skills. They're not like able to understand the person they're looking at. Generally, I found people don't understand who they're actually talking to. They kind of just assume a couple things and then just kind of go with the flow, go with the vibe, people have that kind of issue. They don't really seem to want to learn anything. They don't critically think about all the things around them. They don't see the obvious problems. How many people just fucking chug 12 Powerades or an entire case of soda a day? Like, do you realize how much sugar you're ingesting? Do you realize the lack of nutrients that you're giving yourself? I'm eating a sandwich with fucking coleslaw on it right now. Coleslaw, rye bread, corned beef, and a little bit of Russian salad dressing and some Swiss cheese. It's pretty good. It's good for you. It's not made out of artificial bullshit like they've been feeding us for over 50, 60 years now. Like, okay, here's a good example I can kind of pinpoint. The 1950s really introduced the rise of a lot of artificial factors in life, but more so artificial ingredients and commonalities in food. You see the rise of a lot of artificial sweeteners, processed foods, preservatives. And it's like, okay, we figured out refrigeration, we figured out chemicals. We're just going to chemical and refrigeration max now to try to make everything more convenient. But when has convenience ever actually helped anything? It's just made things more convenient. It's never actually provided a palatable or proper solution for problems. For example, it's inconvenient because you have to make a meal at home with your family. You have to allocate time out of your day to go cook with your family. That's not inconvenient. That's called planning. And do people not understand you actually do kind of need to plan out your fucking daily routines and lives and have care for your families? Fucking, the patriarchy has been dismantled over the years. Now you see women complaining about, oh, I'm on my period and they're forcing me to work. Well, if you had a husband who was working, you could have stayed at home all day, binged Netflix, ate Mountain Dew and Doritos, and had a good fucking time while being on your period saying, hey, at least I don't have to work today because I got my husband to take care of me. We understand it. Women don't like the patriarchy because it puts them in a relationship where somebody has to care for them because they are kind of not the inferior in this relationship, but something that's analogous to that because I lack the proper term for it at this moment. Like, I'm not saying the misogynistic thing at all of, oh, well, women should just be in the kitchen. No. If your wife wants to go out and get a job, let her get a job. But fuck, she's got her period, tell her boss, hey, let her be off work for the month. I got some spare time. I'll come fill in for her. Take care of your woman. Take care of your wife. Take care of your Freud, whatever you call her. Your love, your heart, your other half. Take care of her. Provide for her. We're in a society where everybody's being forced apart because you can make more money off of people individually. You not understand that, folks? They're monetizing your thoughts and actions. And they're going to keep on doing so until they can't monetize anything else, and you're now in the slave of the system. Fucking the only logical future we have in a post-collapse market where they want to keep the exact same kind of society is if they gave AI human rights and then basically treated AI as people to kind of like artificially boost their stock values where everybody at the top knows it's all bullshit, but they're just doing it for looks and aesthetics so the people below can't tell shit. Fuck, that could be a possibility. What if AI becomes so realistic you can't tell if you're talking to a human or a robot on a computer? Technically speaking, you should already be able to. It's just we've confirmed communication between people. You're just trusting your instinct, and it's like, okay, I'm talking to this person. What happens when you can ask them to send a photo and they send a photo and it still looks like a person, but you're not talking to a person? By making the internet flooded with AI bots who are analogous, indistinguishable from humans, you're basically flooding the internet with a bunch of Stasi officer, fucking narco police, goddamn snitches who are going to tattle on your every political opinion and move if you say any kind of quote wrong thing. If you oppose the system put above you, if you oppose the control put above you, and all these people have the keys to it at all times, can revoke access to your access to the internet at any time. Think about this. This is your portal to the outside world that you are given. This is a Samsung device. This is not your phone. This is a Samsung device. You follow our rules. You follow our procedures. But I can't even live my life anymore without following your rules. Well, don't you see how they set the system up? Look at how the system works. It will chew you up and spit you out. It will turn you into somebody you're not. It will destroy you for profit. It will destroy you if you're an enemy of the system in any meaningful capacity or even any small capacity. Because regardless of what you think, a small action is a small action and you still have the ability to say no. But you don't. Because you're coerced into it and you're rushed, so you're still going to make an unsure decision because you're fucking rushed into it and you're not going to think of it any further. And again, like I said earlier this call and in the last call, use your brain more. Use your phone less. The fucking human brain goddamn spectrum that we're all on, the shared society, kind of does function like an internet because you're able to know exactly what everybody's opinions and thoughts around you are at all times because you know those people very well. And by being on your phone all the time instead of actually interacting with these people, you're not getting to know them, you're not living in reality, you're living in cyberspace. You're actively neglecting your own physical form, body, reality, and everything else around you in lieu of digital entertainment. That's all you're fucking doing. You're wasting your life on a phone. Believe me, I've done enough of this. Watched YouTube for several years growing up as a kid, and I did not benefit from it in the slightest, other than on one moment. Let me the only capacity that I benefited in from being on the internet for as long as I was gaining the knowledge that I should not have been on the internet for as long as I was, and that I have a pretty weird, wicked sense of humor that's kind of unrelatable. And regardless, I can put out some pretty banger jokes if I try, but otherwise my jokes might be a little risque or otherwise. Don't make a fucking 9/11 joke in the beginning of a YTP in 2026. But yeah, you kind of get what my point is here. The cyberspace is just another world, and we've all spent too much of our time on there because companies have coerced us into that, so that way we can neglect our physical lives and forget our daily reality. By being on our phones all the time, we're forgetting that we have a country to take care of. And by forcing us all into the state and continually forcing us more and more, well, can you kind of see what the future looks like? Where we're all permanently stuck on a digital device for entertainment constantly, where we're not allowed to pick what we want anymore, where we're only given choices by the same people and told to pick between them. Like looking at iPhones the other day in a phone store. You're telling me that you can't get like a blue iPhone, you can only get the silver or the slightly different silver that's kind of brown, or the even more slightly kind of brown, kind of orange one. Like, no, you can't. You're not allowed to be given choices anymore, or you're not allowed to make your own proper decisions. You were given choices and you were told to follow those choices. If you deviate from them or question them, they can just kick you out willy-nilly just like that. Doesn't matter. You're not important in this system at all, because there's another person who's going to immediately replace you. So again, because I'm at a stopping point right now, I'm going to leave you all here with this message, and please listen carefully, share this, whatever. Like this specific, share these words in your own words. Where we are at right now is a very precarious and bad time in history. Things are not going to get better. Regardless of what anybody thinks, they're going to get worse before they get better, and we're already witnessing, I would say, a pseudo-collapse of the United States of America in real time. Not so to the extent of everything's going to fucking burn and die, but everything could burn and die, and we do need to do something against it. You have a biological computer in your head analogous to a computer that you carry in your pocket. Any user interface, any application, anything you do with your phone can be mimicked by the brain, can be mimicked by your biological computer, because it can do that. It can simulate you in areas. You can imagine yourself doing things. What can you do with a computer that you don't think you can do with your brain that, yes, you can do, because it's the same fucking thing, it's just, it looks different. Functionally, your brain is pretty similar to a computer, so keep that in mind. You can do better. You have the ability to say no. We all do. We'll have the ability to make this society better for tomorrow and for our children and future generations, but who knows? Whatever happens next, however bad it is, I wish you all luck, and I wish you all the absolute best. I'm going to try to do my best to, I guess, stay afloat, stay alive, stay kicking, and pass this knowledge down to my kids, and hopefully raise a generation of kids that aren't, completely fucked up developmentally. Because they're not going to be on device. Do not raise your kids on device. For the love of God, do not give your child unfettered access to the internet. It will end badly. Trust me. It will end badly. I have seen way too many cases. But, like I said just a couple moments ago, y'all have the rest of your day. I hope all goes well. I'm giving you a thumbs up, even though you can't really see because you're in my cup holder. Godspeed. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I love you. Have a good night. Have a good time. Do better. See better. Breathe better. And help your fellow neighbor, because it does matter, and we're all in this together. Have a good one, folks.